everyone, welcome back to Destiny's Yarn Garden. I'm Destiny and today we are going to be going through my yarn buckets because I really need to go through my stash and kind of deplete it a little bit so I can buy new yarn. I'm really excited because I have a whole bunch of notes on things that I actually want to crochet, and that's really what I want to start doing on my channel, is things that I really want to crochet and that I have been wanting to crochet for a long time. I know I've been going through the Kawaii Garden crochet book, but this is something that I wanted to do for a long time. I want to crochet sweaters and more clothing for myself and for my children. I have 3 kids and I love them all, but 3 kids is so much to crochet for, so anytime I make an amigurumi or a blanket, all of them want one, and then it just takes so much longer to get through. So I do want to slowly start to integrate clothing for myself more often, because I do find myself crocheting a lot of amigurumis for my children, and they all want the same thing in different color variations. Now that I'm crocheting for myself, I have found quite a few things that I really do want to crochet. So we will be going through these buckets that I have. I have a large tote. This is completely full of yarn. And I have a cardboard box full of yarn. And I really just need to go through this stash. The stash is getting out of control. Not to mention I have so much burlap blanket yarn for the amigurumis that I've been making, but that'll be for another video because that is a whole nother demon that I don't want to deal with. Sorry, I heard scratching and I had to let my cat Tofu in. She really likes being in the bedroom. She wanders sometimes, but she likes to avoid our dog, so I let her in. Now, moving on to actually going through the yarn stash, I think I'm going to separate everything out in color first, and then we'll go through my notes and kind of pick out cool colors for projects that I want to do in the future. Okay, so I have officially separated them all out by color. Now we can go through our list and kind of pick out what we're going to use for what. I am really excited. I can't wait to find out what we can pick for what, but I actually had more colors than I thought. Like, for instance, there are projects I wanted to create with flowers. I thought I had no yellow yarn. However, I have yellow in this yarn. I have yellow in other variegated yarns, so I kind of separated them out by color, but I do have a variation of colors. It's kind of just some variegated yarns that are in this box that I have, and we'll go through that too, just in case there are colors that I like to use in this. So one of the first things that I want to make is a patchwork cardigan. I'm not sure what kind of patchwork cardigan we're going to make, but I really want to go through this and kind of see what would be good for a patchwork cardigan. And I want to find something that's very me, which is neutral colors. I don't tend to like flow towards really bright colors, such as bright yellows or bright blues. I have those colors, I just don't like how they look on me. I like neutrals. So we're definitely going to go in with some blacks and maybe purple, dark purple, like a neutral-y color. So let me go through it, find some yarn, and then I'll be back. Okay, so I think I found the yarns. I really like how these colors are contrasting with each other. The only unfortunate part is that I only have one of these. The rest I have plenty of, but I only have one of these. So is it contradicting to buy another one of these and add it in, or should I just go with it and just make as many squares as I can with what I got? So that'll be something to kind of ponder on. but I definitely like these together. I think they look cool. I think it'll be a fun patchwork cardigan, and I really like this purpley mulberry color. So that'll definitely be something to think on. I'm going to add it into my notes, and then we'll move on to the next idea that I have. So moving on, I want to make a magic pouch. It's the frog one, and it looks just like this. And I think it'd be really cute to kind of carry around with me in case I need a little bag anywhere I go. I'm going to attach it to my purse or my backpack, depending on what I'm using that day. So for the magic pouch, I need a pink, green, white, and black. So let me look for those colors, and then I'll kind of show you guys what my idea is. Okay, so I have found the colors I think I want to use for my magic pouch. So the frog can either be a dark green or a light green, and I'm kind of leaning towards this dark green. I think it would look much better on the frog. Let me know down in the comments what you think, but I definitely think that this dark green would look better. I also found these kind of scratchier yarns. I really don't like using them because they kind of hurt. So I'll use it on like a bag or something I will be using but not wearing because it's just too scratchy. So this is a great way to use these guys up, for sure. And then for the cheeks, I think I'm going to use this yarn. It's a yarn I typically use for cheeks. I just don't have that much of it, so it's not used for anything else. It's really soft and it's nice. It is definitely a like a Karen cloud cake kind of yarn. I was trying to think of the words and I knew I had one not by me, so I was looking at that. But it's definitely a Karen cloud cake yarn. I just don't remember which one it is. I'm pretty sure it is anyway, but I can't remember where I got this yarn or what even for at this point. Now we're going to move on to a flower sweater. I think that a flower sweater would be so cute. As I said, I wanted to crochet like a lot more clothing, so I'm going to start doing that, and I think a flower sweater that looks just like this would be adorable. So I have like a ton of these Karen Simply Soft yarns. I like using these for clothing. They are really soft, shockingly, for acrylic yarn, but I like it, and it is in the color Plum Wine. I think I'm going to use this for my flower sweater. So I'm going to write that down, and then we'll continue on to the next project. I really like the Karen Simply Soft yarns. They are so nice, and they're actually pretty cheap. So I like using soft yarns for a bargain. It is great. It is a good deal. There are obviously softer yarns out there, but this is just what I have, and I'm just going to deal with what I have for now until I can buy more yarn once I've used up quite a bit of my stash. Moving on to the flower charger cover, I think I'm going, so I have two options realistically. I have a dark green and a light green. Once again, I really don't have that much green that I don't intend on using for a different project. So I have these two options like 99% of the time. I should buy more greens. I'll think on that. So I think that I'm going to use this light green. I mean, realistically, I have enough of this dark green for multiple projects, but I really want to use this light green because I think it'd look really pretty as a charger cover. And for my flowers, I kind of have to decide on whether I want to do a kind of moodier themed flower or if I want to do like a bright pink flower. Pink is my favorite color, so I might choose the pink, but I don't know, this moodier color for the actual flowers would be nice. I'm also planning on using this Fairyland yarn for just the yellow, so I'll just separate it and take out the yellow and use that for like the middle of my flowers. I could also use the white from this for the middle of my flowers. This yarn is just too soft though. I love it. And this one is scratchy. I don't care that much for this yarn. It looks way fluffier and fun than it actually is. and it seems like it's going to have a lot of fallout when I'm using it because it is so weirdly fluffy but scratchy. It's hard to explain. It's almost like a microfiber cloth, unfortunately. And this yarn's pretty soft, but I think it's still too scratchy for a, let's say, sweater. So I think I'll keep pondering on that, and I'll add it to my notes on the color choices that I might choose and some of the ones that I'm definitely going to use. So before we move on, I wanted to touch on this weird yarn. So I did get this yarn from Shein, and I just kind of wanted to speak on that a little bit. So Shein has really cheap deals for some decent quality yarns. My problem with Shein is that this has no label. It never came with a label, never had one. This one was definitely a hit. I wanted to try the Fairyland yarn so bad. I bought some. However, my biggest issue with Shein is I ordered so much more than this. However, this is all that's come in. I barely got any yarn. I think I have one more. It was like a mohair yarn. This guy. And these are all I got. I ordered a ton more yarn. I ordered a lot of Karen Simply Soft because it was at a cheaper price. But it never actually shipped. I haven't asked for a refund yet. It's only been like 2 weeks, but I'm very frustrated that I got half of my order and not all of my order. So I kind of have a bone to pick with Shein. They are not on top of their stuff, and I've never had a problem with it. So I don't really understand what's going on with my yarn. I have bought a couple of different like clothing off of Shein, but those ones came in just fine. I think I've ordered one thing that ended up being too small for me, and I just gave it to my sister-in-law. However, I'm very frustrated in how long it takes for them to ship out like yarn. So I don't recommend buying from them. Michaels, however, sends me the yarn within the week. And I kind of live in the middle of nowhere, so I understand that it's hard to get things shipped to me, but the Shein order hasn't even left. It's still currently processing. Quite frustrating because I bought quite a bit of stuff from it. So maybe I'll do that in a yarn haul whenever I get it, if I get it, because I think I'm going to give it one more week before I just decide to ask for a refund, and I don't want it at all. I could spend that money elsewhere, honestly, and I really don't need a penny pinch on that yarn. I would prefer to, because then I can get a lot more, but I don't need to, and if they're not going to send me my product, then I'm just not going to deal with it. Now, we're going to move on to my next project. I think I want to make a mesh sweater. However, I don't know what I want to use for that. So I don't have a lot of bulk colors. I tend to like buy one or two of a certain color unless I have a planned project. And you don't plan hardly any of my projects, so I don't even know why I do it. But when I only buy one or two, then it means I can't make, one solid color sweater. So I kind of have to decide on if I'm going to do a stripe deal or if I'm going to do a checker deal, something like that, or part of it one color and part another color. And maybe even go dip into a third color because I only buy one of everything and I don't really understand why I do it. So for my mesh sweater, I think I want to jump out of my comfort zone and dip into blue. I don't think I look very good in blue, but I do have a kind of yellowish undertone to my skin, so it might work out. I think I'm going to use these. I have a lot of this and I only have one of these. So I'm hoping, because I'm a size small to like medium, that I could fit all of this yarn into one thing and not have to, readjust or even buy more yarn. My goal is to not buy any more yarn. I'm hoping through all these projects I don't have to. I really want to just get through the stash and get it over with. So, moving on from that, we are going to move on to a bucket hat. I have always wanted to make a bucket hat. A bucket hat sounds so fun to make. And it's kind of one of those quick projects that's really rewarding because I just love that I can get it done within, 2 hours, 3 hours. When I have time to crochet throughout the day, I do have 3 kids, so it's not always a possible thing, and I'm in school, so, I don't have that much time to crochet. but when I do, I really like to sit down for an hour or two and just get through it. It is so relaxing for me. So moving on to the bucket hat, I think I saw a yarn. So I want to get through this purple color. I originally bought this for a sweater cardigan, and I ended up frogging the whole thing because I just didn't have enough for it, and I can't remember what yarn this even is at this point. So instead of buying more yarn, which we're trying not to do, I am going to use this for my bucket hat. It is really thick yarn though, so it will definitely keep my head warm. It might even make for a really cool beanie, nice and thick for the winter time as winter is approaching. Moving on to crochet shorts. I have wanted to make crochet shorts. The only problem I have with crochet shorts is that it's wintertime, so probably not super appropriate right now, but the other problem I have with crochet shorts is the way that I am shaped makes it hard for me to make clothing for myself. I have pretty wide hips but a smaller waist, and I like things that are over my waist because I am a mom and I do have like the belly pouch thing. So I am afraid to make any crochet pants of any kind, but I definitely want to move out of my comfort zone and make them at some point in the future. As I was looking through my stash, I found this peach color and I think it looked good as shorts. I think I could do this with pink and white and have some shorts. So I think that would be a good idea to add to, my colors. Otherwise, I found this deep red that would look really cool as shorts as well. So I'm not sure yet, but either one of these with white I think would be pretty cool for my crocheted shorts. So the last thing on my list is a winter wheat sweater. I think that would be really cool to have, and I have the perfect colors. This one I think I just kind of wanted to show off, honestly, because I really like the colors for this. So I bought cloud cake yarn that looks like this. Sorry, the other side is ugly because my son likes to punch in my yarns. I don't know why. Anyway, this color and this color. They are neutrals, perfect, ideal for me. I think that this would be a really cute sweater. Now what's going to be for what, I have no idea. But the blossom cakes and the cloud cakes I think is going to look just absolutely wonderful together. So that will be my last thing that I'm going to crochet. I hope you guys had fun going through all of my yarn with me, and there wasn't as much as I thought there was, and if I do all these projects, honestly I will be halfway through my stash, and that is great. Then I can buy another half to complete my stash once again, but I definitely need to work on buying more of the same color, like multiple skeins of yarn of the same color, so that I can make bigger projects with it instead of just having one skein here and there and everywhere. It doesn't make sense to do that. Now if I have one skein left after I've completed a project, that's a different story, because I have a whole entire blanket that I add all of my scrap yarn in, so I'll just add more to it until I'm satisfied. I hope you guys had fun in this video. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. And I will link my Facebook and Instagram and Twitter below, so you guys can also be friends with me on those platforms. See you in the next one.